Okay, Monday morning in the kingdom, and it's nasty out here. Yes, it's Monday, it's windy, it was snowing earlier. Unfrickin' real. But what are we going to do? We live at the end of the world. And Sir Rodney did not get the storm of the century or the big storm. He survived. Unreal. But my hometown of Brandon or whatever, they hate me. They got it good. But oh well. All right, this morning we woke up to minus 18, but feels like minus 30. That's because of this freaking wind. All right, and then it's 0 on the yo-yo scale. So is that plus 0 or just 0? I don't think it's minus 0, so it's just got to be a 0. Okay, but feels like minus 22. That is chilly. All right, so today's going to be a shop day, and we're going to have to drink more. Yes, yesterday was unreal. How lucky we got. Look at that. So we'll be indulging in some titty vodka as we weld and cut and everything like that. Yesterday was unreal, and we credit titty vodka. Yes, that's good stuff. It makes everything flow. The cuts go good. Everything. And the gods of gravity didn't overcome any of the welds. All right, let's see if we can venture out. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh, man. Earlier, we couldn't even see down there because it was blowing and snowing so hard, but it will get worse today, according to the Weather Network. And then over here, we had hot coals in the stove, so I just fluffed them up, tossed some more recycled wood in there. Ah, look at it go. It's just starting to burn. Excellent. All right, it's too cold and windy to stand out here holding the stick. All right, I better go because here comes the boss.
Hey, what's up, followers? Sir Rodney live at West Trans. Just want to show you guys quickly here. I got the pallet all boxed up at the Joey tomorrow. There's a whole pallet of dog food going up there, up to the kingdom. Paul did a really good job packaging up, so hopefully this one doesn't get damaged. Also, too, there's a world tour for Sir Rodney starting March 16th in Mexico. I don't expect you to meet me there, but I'm going. March 16th to 23rd in Mexico, and then when I come back, I'm going to get to use the money that some of the followers have generously gave me in the mail for my birthday and such. I'll be in Fargo April 4th, and then April 5th and 6th I'll be in St. Paul, Minnesota, and more than likely Minneapolis, Minnesota, because we'll go check out the Mall of America. So I'll get to use my American money there. So again, I thank you followers for sending me that. And also, too, when I get back, April 16th to the 22nd, I'll be in Texas. So I'll get to use it there as well. All right, you guys, have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay, came out to the shop as it's like a blizzard outside. It's snowing and blowing. It's just nasty, but that's why we have these shop days or projects in the shop. So I came out here to see what the gods of gravity were like, and I was able to do the uphands around the pipes. Now I can take the hitch off and flip it over. But also, too, in theory, over here, I don't know if we can see it. All right, there's all this booger welds from when the skids were used as something else, and then we had that flat bar. Okay, in theory, if it was a nice sunny day in the summer, we'd get the air arc out and trim all that up to make it look pretty. But we didn't. It's not sunny, and it's not a nice day, and we're not blowing air arc hot sparks all over the shop. So we pushed the limits of the plasma cutter. Okay, promo thing. The plasma cutter, the Pro Point 38 Plus from Princess Auto. Okay, I don't think it's designed to cut 3/4 inch material. We did that with the hitch over here. Okay, so to get rid of these flat bars, because this flat bar is reusable, repurposed, and recycled in the kingdom, it's not quite long enough or has enough power to blow through, and I wasn't going to crank up the air pressure anymore, not like the oxyacetylene torches. So I kept it there. What I did was I come underneath and followed let the gun against the nozzle or the trigger, whatever the gun, up against that H-beam there, and gave me a cut. So it only blew through about 1/4 inch, and then I cut from the top down. All right. So I made sure it was blowing through, and then I used my small hammer to give it a couple of love taps, and that one fell off. And then when I came back here, I was more experienced and knowledgeable, plus I had the experience, and I was more careful with the plasma cutter, and I did it underhand, overhead, and it fell right off. That was pretty nice. All right, let's get this hitch off and up onto the beams here so we can weld it, and then we can keep going on with this project, because I don't think we'll be doing anything outside. It's too nasty, like my ex-wife. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, and now I'm going to get a lawyer letter. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and I got the hitch flipped over on top of the new workbench. Yes, anything goes. Barrels and pallets are the most handiest things in the world to have in your shop or outside or in the yard. Okay, so I flipped it over. We're doing some uphand, and also too, everybody bases everything on the top. They always make sure they've got good fits, and then when you flip it over, you don't have a good fit. But I was sticking my finger under here, and these are acceptable. So to weld these gaps here, these spaces, okay, we're adding the filler rod. So these are the filler rods, which are actually the stuck rods from when you're sober and trying to weld. So the rod gets stuck, you wiggle it, and the flux falls off, okay? So you beat it into submission with the hammer, and then you use it as a feeder rod with your 7018 1/8. So we like the 3/32 rods for the feeder rod. So this is actually going well, and this is an uphand here, so I'm actually able to do it and control the gravity. So over here, I made a mistake again for the first time in my life. I should have enclosed the pipes before I put anything on. Now I have a problem down in here. How do I weld that? So I'm going to have to stand the hitch up, burn it in hot to seal it, because we don't want water to get into these pipes, because water freezes up here. Yes, these pipes here have water in them, and I marked on here I have to drill a hole for the water to escape, because now it'll freeze and split, because before this was, how would you say, open, and it could freeze and expand. All right, so this is actually going rather well. We're not wasting time with beautiful welds or grinding them, because this is a hitch that's going to go out to the wilderness and get bent, dropped, how would you say, and stuff like that. So it's not going to be, how would you say, at the Museum of Welding to display these beautiful welds. But this turned out very well. I'm very pleased at the tightness I got my joints, even though they were one cut and no grinding. And also too, down here we'll be putting a little flat plate in here to keep this from bending. All right, and the reason we went this route, oops, is we want to be able to use the, how would you say, the ugly heavy hitch back on here in case we need a longer hitch, because you gotta remember this is a pretty short hitch, and if we need to hook to a sleigh or something, this sloop or whatever we're making will be multi-purpose, just like everything else in the kingdom. It's not one use only. It'll be redesigned, repurposed, like it has been for the last 30 years. All right, let's go burn some lunch and check the weather. Okay, checking the weather like a good weatherman. Look at the snow drifting in front of the shop door here. All right, and look at it. It's nasty. All right, it's nasty out there. I'm not taking the me phone out because it'll get all temperamental and be upset and then censor me. Okay, late coffee in the kingdom because I finished the hitch. Yes, we just have to do the pins down in the bottom, but we got it all done, sort of thing. So it turned out really well. We're very pleased, and we got all the welds done in position. We just kept flipping and flipping and flipping. All right, let's do the big test to see. Also too, we put some stoppers down here that don't line up, but we don't want it touching back here because there's going to be wooden boards that are removable, so we can put long stuff in, like trees, freshly killed trees. All right, let's give it a push. Well, there we go. It didn't break, so that's a good thing. All right, so now we got to finish off the pins here. We got to drill a hole there, and we got a hole over there, but we have to put a top or a cap on. These stoppers here, when we flip the thing out upside down outside with the, when we flip it upside down to do about an hour's welding with the green toy, then we'll weld the rest of that. So there's no sense laying on my back and trying to do overhead. I'm pushing the limits as it is. So this turned out rather well. We got it gusseted, well supported, and this is the weakest link right here. All right. So if anything goes wrong, it's going to break there, and that's what we want, because then we put a chain from here around there and we can get home in theory. All right, so you have to have these hitches breakable in case you jackknife it, get it stuck, you know, screw everything up and you got everything all every which way but straight. So I learned that a long time ago. All right, so if it does break or we have problems, we can also heat up some strapping and wrap it around, okay, around the back part there. That'll give it some strength, but I'm not too worried, because this should last my lifetime, yes, and the staff's too. All right, oh, we got the list. That's why we're having a late coffee, because we measured out the little floor cross members, okay, right here. We got cross members, sides, and everything like that. So let's go see if we can find some steel after coffee. Yes, we're going to go out in the snowstorm to find some steel in the snowbank. This should be fun.
Monday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 8 a.m. and as you can see, it is pretty nasty out here. Ever since that wind started blowing last night, it turned into a snowstorm, and now it's kind of a blizzard out. Let's head inside, let the dogs out. I know they won't be out for very long. Have breakfast, and then get ready for work. Today should be fun. I'm not sure if we'll be doing anything in the kingdom later on, but I guess I'll find out. Just after 8:30 and I'm getting ready to head to work. As you can see, it kind of cleared up a bit, but it's still pretty windy and snowing out here, so I'm not sure what today will bring, but let's head inside, get ready, and go to work. 12:30 and I'm just finishing up lunch. As you can see, it is still pretty nasty out here today. There wasn't very many kids in school. I'm still helping the new teacher get settled in as well. Now it's time to let the dogs back in because I can hear them crying, and head back to work. 4 o'clock, I just made home from work. It is still pretty nasty out there, so there wasn't that many kids in school today. I already got the skidoo out. Now I'll head on over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. I don't think we'll be doing much, but I guess I'll find out when I get there. Almost 4:30 and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like my dad needs some sheet metal for the sloop that's in the shop right now, so we're going to get the mini out and head on over to that black van trailer in around that area. But my dad went with the shovel, so I'll go get the mini now and meet him over there. Over by the black van trailer, and it looks like we are going to grab about 8 sheets of metal here. That way my dad's not going to be short in the shop. Whatever he doesn't use, we'll just put back on the pile. This should take me a couple trips with the mini. I do have the metal sheet grabber right here on the mini as well, so it should make my life a little easier. Now I better get over there and go help him. My dad's just taking up the first of the sheet metal. He'll come back and we have to take each and every single one of these up there individually, but it's still faster than getting the loader out to pick up the pallet that's on top of the trailer here and dragging it up to the shop. By the time we get the loader out, this is just easier. Just finished putting the first of the sheet metal into the shop. We just opened up the big shop door to get it in. It was a lot easier than trying to wiggle it in through the people door. Now my dad went to go grab another few sheets, so while he's doing that, I'm going to fill up the wheelbarrow for him and then put it back in the shop. Just finished filling up the wheelbarrow and put it back into the shop for my dad. Now I'll wait for him to bring another sheet. We are just stacking it all right by the door here. That way he can cut it and have enough room to play around. He just dropped the third sheet off and gave me the little list he had written out earlier. These are his plans for the sloop here, so I think it's going to look pretty good. Kind of have a rough idea on what he's going to be doing. Officially got the last sheet. That was 8 in total. Now we can put this one in the shop and then put the mini away and see what's going on next. "5:30 and I'm officially done in the kingdom. It was a pretty easy day, just moving some sheet metal into the shop. That way my dad can keep working on the sloop. Now I'll head on back into WHO-ville, get a fire going, and do the weather. Just after 5:30 and I made home from the kingdom and put the skidoo away. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, get a fire going, and do the weather. 6 o'clock and I'm down in the basement getting a fire going. I threw in some core boxes and little toothpick trees, so this will get me started. Then I can build it up and it'll be nice and warm in here. With that wind, you can feel a bit of a chill in the house, so hopefully getting the fire going will warm it up. Now let's head upstairs and do the weather. Just after 6 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's negative 17 degrees Celsius, which is 1 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It would be nice today if it wasn't for all this wind and snow coming down, but now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in because I can hear them crying, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, that was a little chilly riding the mini hoe, but the staff filled up the wheelbarrow and the wagon with firewood for me. Also, too, we decided to keep working here because I can warm up with the wood stove. Okay, so what we're doing now is we need some angle irons to have we need the angle irons to support the floor and the sidewalls or whatever. Okay, so we're reusing, repurposing, and recycling. So we finally got this angle iron used up. So it's come in the shop a couple of times because we've taken pieces off the end, and it's done. So we can save the eye hook, and the rest can go for scrap because that's what we did. We recycled, repurposed, and reused. And over here, we're going to go through all our bent and twisted angle irons, and these will be the floor joists because we got to be able to support the mini hoe and maybe a cat or something up on top of this deck. So we have to have it, how would you say, properly supported because we can't have any wowies. And we're going to use up this flat steel. Oh, the burps. All right, this is a petroleum tank. It was underground, so that's why the tar stuff. All right, I think 25 years ago, we cut it into strips, ran over with the loader, and used it for sides on a trailer. Yes, and then we've got rid of the trailer, so we kept the sides. So now we can repurpose, reuse, and recycle. So that's what we're doing. So we're pretty lucky we knew where we placed it last fall, so there was a lot of snow out there, but that's no problem. That's why you have a mini hoe to drag everything into the shop. All right, let's keep going here with the plasma cutter, get some steel cut, and warm up. Because this stove is putting out some nice heat. Can you feel that, Les Nessman? Yes, nice heat today, and I'm having a small little fires at this end of the stove. Yes, and not having a full burn because it gets too hot in here. But this is what the double barrel stove is good for, except for the low pressure system. I think we're in a good pressure system right now because it's putting out a lot of heat for such a little fire. Okay, let's try this again because the mini phone didn't like the recording the first time around. So it's just 10 after 7. Yes, 10 after 7. Okay, so over here, we stuck it out. We had to get it done. We hand carried all that angle iron in from the steel shed, and then we had it fresh in my memory on what I wanted to do with it. And we have the bent ones. Okay, so the ones here that are grind smooth and everything like that, they'll be notched to fit. So they'll be on the outside over here. And then that'll give us a smooth side. So when we plate it in over here, and we're choosing the pipe on top, so any straps or chains will go over top and not bind or anything like that. In the past, we'd use angle iron, and then it'll be, how'd you say, bindage? Yes, like in the bedroom. Okay, so over here, this material here is recycled, reused, and repurposed. Everybody would throw it in the scrap pile, but we look at it one more time. We can use it one more time. So I'm not going to grind or cut any of these boogers off, because this piece will stand up. So then the smooth side is up, okay? And then over here we have this one bent, and that one's bent even more. And we got the good ones at the back there, because the mini hoe will be sitting on those main ones, okay? So this turned out very well. We're very pleased, and that plasma cutter performed excellent, non-stop, not like the other plasma cutter we had. Oh, that was the reason why we drank. Yes, now we drink because of celebration with the new plasma cutter. All right, let's go check on the flags. Okay, stocked up the wood stove with that wood the staff brought in for me. So there's the wood stove going for the Swedish kid. It's still windy out here and chilly, but we did it. 8 trips with the mini hoe back and forth, 1 plate at a time. Now, if we tried to do more than that, we'd screw up, and it'd be just a nightmare. All right, so look at the flags. They're all tangled up. What a mess. All right, that'll be me later because my hands are vibrating from holding that grinder. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.